Welcome back to another episode of Shark Talk, episode 8, and we got Max Kaufer, one of the biggest personalities in this entire Sharks dugout and easily one of the most entertaining catchers in college baseball. Max, welcome.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for having me, Liam.
Of course, yeah, no question. Max obviously has played some of the highest levels that this game has to offer. You were started off local in New Jersey at your local high school, then you went to IMG Academy. We'll get into all this. You were at Texas A&M and then South Carolina, and now Wichita State. Ready to make some noise in the American Conference. You're a guy who shined on the big stage. We're talking SEC tournament heroics, regional clutch moments, homers against top-tier arms. Also been all over the summer map. You were here with the Vineyard, then you went to the Cape. Now you're back with the Sharks on the island. Wherever you go, you bring leadership, energy, and some serious edge. All right, ChatGPT's getting a little strong with this praise. This episode, though, it's going to be a really fun one, so stay tuned, and we'll get right into it. We'll start where we always do on the island of Martha's Vineyard. You're not a fresh face to this spot. Obviously, you were here 2 years ago. What does that help you? How does that help you get acclimated this summer? And what do you enjoy the most about living on this island?
Well, first of all, as far as being back on the island, it's amazing. We all know that. I'd say just like whenever you're in a new place, whether it's South Carolina, New Jersey, wherever anybody might be, there's always a week of like kind of getting your feet wet, getting your routine down.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt like when I got into the island this time, it was just like I had left.
Yeah.
And got a membership at the same gym, settled in with the host family. I knew all the guys over at the Sharks,
Mm-hmm.
so it's just super easy to kind of get right back into the swing of things, knew the grocery stores, whole deal.
So real quick before we get into your baseball journey, what's your favorite part of living on this island? Obviously, very unique situation. The familiarity helps, but just what about this place do you like the most?
Well, I think first of all, we're very lucky to be up here during the summer.
Yeah.
I mean, this is one of the best tourist destinations in the country.
Mm-hmm.
So just to be able to live here for a summer, I'm super grateful and super lucky to have that. I would say like the fact that this is like a vacation destination and the fact that we get to play in that environment on a daily basis is by far, hands down, the coolest thing about being here.
Absolutely. We're incredibly blessed to be here, especially in this podcast studio, and I'm super excited to get into your baseball journey, which has taken you from Florida all over the country. Take me back to when you first really knew that baseball was the sport that you wanted to pursue, and at what age that started.
Yeah, I don't know. I've been playing baseball for a long time. I guess throwing the ball with my dad in the backyard since I was 2, 3. I have no idea, but I don't know. Growing up, I always played t-ball and then rec baseball and then travel baseball and just kind of kept doing that whole thing. And I don't know. Along the journey, like I was talented, and my dad didn't put a lot of pressure on me. My parents didn't put a lot of pressure on me. Kind of let me kind of do what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
I remember it was kind of like a rule in my house. Like every season you had to be playing a sport. So
Okay.
it was like, okay, it's the fall. Well, what are we going to sign up for?
Yeah.
Well, it's the winter. What are we going to sign up for? And I did basketball and all that stuff, and at a certain age, I remember saying to my parents, like, I don't want to play basketball.
Mm-hmm.
I'd rather just go to the indoor facility twice a week and get to hit more, get to throw more, and do all these things instead of playing other sports. So that's kind of when I really understood that this is what I want to do, and just craving getting better and doing all those things from a young age. It was super rewarding and made me fall in love with baseball.
So when do you think that really started, if you had to pinpoint an age?
12, 13.
Wow, okay.
I just hated everything else. I hated playing basketball. Hated basketball. So baseball was what I needed to be doing.
Absolutely. And then obviously it turns out to be relatively successful for you. You have a really good year. Take me through that little unconventional COVID type situation as you're entering high school.
Yeah. So freshman year, came into high school. It's kind of like your first taste at the age gap, right? Forever. You're only playing like middle school, you get a little bit of that, but not really. Mm-hmm. And then obviously through rec baseball, you're playing with everyone your age. So all of a sudden you're thrown into this atmosphere where you got to play up to a seniors level, a juniors level. And that can be tough because of physicality and whatnot. But like I said, like just being able to kind of have that base of training for baseball year round
Yep.
really put me in a great position come early springtime I ended up making the varsity team. We were doing tryouts. We started doing workouts together. We had some live at-bats. We had a couple full team practices. We're really getting into the swing of things. I was supposed to start at third base for our first scrimmage.
Okay.
I was the freshman on varsity, felt like the man.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden, COVID happens, and there's chatter about it, but we didn't really know what was going to come of it.
Right.
And we're getting ready to go play our first scrimmage, and we get a text, it's off. So, you got I don't know what it was, 2 weeks to stop the spread.
Yeah.
And then that was the end of my freshman year.
Absolutely. And so then you start a new organization. There's no organized baseball happening in that moment. Obviously, the world shuts down in the early months of 2020. And then your community starts up something which led you to...
Yeah, so we did, it was like kind of all the high schools in New Jersey. They did, it was called the Last Dance Tournament.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was mainly tailored for the seniors,
Okay.
just so they had that one last opportunity to play a little bit of baseball.
Yeah.
And kind of all the local high school coaches were able to recruit kind of the bare minimum was 13, 14 guys for this. It was a 2-week long tournament. It was double elimination.
Yeah.
And it was a cool first taste of high school baseball. We did it, I'm not sure if it was May or June or whenever it was, but got to play 4 or 5 games, had a couple hits and kind of got my feet wet in high school baseball. Like I said, that was probably my first time having that real age gap where I'm playing against an 18-year-old kid. I'm 14.
Exactly.
Right, so this is that first time. Really, really cool experience.
But then it was a quick transition into a high level of competition. Obviously, you get recognized in that Last Dance organization special, and then you go to IMG.
Yeah. So that summer, I was still able to play club baseball. So I played with the South Jersey Young Guns.
Okay.
We go down, and there's a lot of talk about maybe there's no 2021 high school season for New Jersey baseball. So me and my family that was something I really wanted. So
Absolutely.
we kind of had to pivot. Mm-hmm. And IMG, was a really good opportunity, and that's what made me jump
Absolutely.
on that.
I mean, IMG, we had AJ Pino on here who was there for a little bit. Take me through just what that taught you. It's obviously meant to develop your skills on the baseball field, get you ready for the next steps in your career. But what was the biggest takeaways, and what was the most beneficial for you?
Yeah, IMG is kind of sold to you as this place where you show up, you buy in, and you get to where you want to go. Right. So my mindset going there was, all right, I'm going to show up. I'm going to do everything they tell me to do. I'm going to work hard, and I'm going to get to where I want to go.
Yeah.
What I shortly learned was that it's not like that. Mm-hmm. And, this isn't necessarily, I'm not taking jabs at IMG necessarily. This is everywhere. This is with the Sharks. This is with, the Brewster Whitecaps. This is at A&M. This is everywhere I've been. Nobody is going to care as much as you do about yourself.
Exactly.
Right? You need to be the CEO of your own career. And, I'm there for the first couple months. I'm starting to figure out we're probably not working out enough. Or, nobody's really taking an initiative on my swing like I hoped.
Yeah.
Nobody is really paying attention to my defense like I hoped. So these are all things that I kind of had to take a step back and say, all right, I have these resources. How can I apply them to get to where I want to go? Right. And that was by far the biggest takeaway I learned from IMG. And kind of, there's a lot of guardrails there because it is a high school.
Yep.
And there is, it goes all the way down to elementary school. I don't even know. But there's a big age range there. So there's a lot of bureaucracy and a lot of red tape to make sure that, kids don't get hurt and all this stuff. So, if it takes hopping a fence and getting into the cages, or if it takes, leaving a Post-it note in the door so that it doesn't lock and you can get in the locker room and get your stuff, that's what it takes. And that's what I learned there for sure.
I mean, but that's also such a unique perspective because I feel like not a lot of high schoolers are able to recognize that they need to do the extra work or what is actually going on with their game and what they want to dedicate to their craft. Yeah,
I was super lucky to become friends with some of the top level players there, like Tommy White, James Wood, Mason Albright, Brady Neal. These all became my peers,
Yeah.
and these were, top ranked, top talented guys in the country. Like James Wood was just in the All-Star game, right? And I'm around these guys, and I'm starting to figure out, wow, like, that's where I want to be. Like these guys are elite, and I use this analogy with my dad. We're all running this race, and they're inherently ahead of me, because of age and talent and all these things. And if I'm running the same speed as them, and they're already ahead of me, I'm never gonna catch up to them.
Exactly.
Right. So I gotta up my speed and
do that
and
much
get to
more.
where I want to be.
And so you think that that's where you really credit it, is just by seeing what it takes and the top talent and what they possess?
Yeah. Also, like, it's my dream to be a big leaguer.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna stop playing baseball one day without every single stone unturned.
Well said.
So.
I mean, that's a perfect way to wrap up the IMG chapter. I mean, you come in there, obviously, you get experience from a lot of great guys, and you kind of get to see what it takes and just bounce off of the top talent and their work ethics. And then you get recruited. What was your recruitment process like coming out of IMG?
Yeah, it was really cool. So IMG kind of gave me the platform. I started playing with the Dirtbags, which is a summer baseball organization. They play on like the national circuit. So we basically, there's kids from all over the country. We show up to a tournament. We play with each other. And we leave. Okay. There's no practice. There's none of that.
Yeah.
And so I get hooked up with this team. I'm playing a year up. We're playing against all these top-ranked players, All-Americans, high draft picks, you name it. And I had a really, really good summer after my sophomore year of high school.
Yeah.
And I had a few schools recruiting me, and Texas A&M was, by and large, where I wanted to be. It was like they had just switched over their coaching staff, so a brand new coach coming in, full new staff coming in. And I felt like having that clean slate at a university, to see that and that commitment to win from a university, I knew that was where I wanted to be.
Absolutely. And then what was that like?
Like the recruitment process?
No, your time at
my time at A&M. Well, so obviously it was a crazy time. So start at the beginning. After my junior year of high school, I went with the Dirtbags, played that summer circuit.
Yep.
Getting ready for the East Coast Pro area code, like, that's kind of what that summer is centered around, because you're trying to put yourself in a good position to possibly get drafted after your senior year of high school.
Right.
So I'm going down to Absecon to train with my my guy Johnny Monell at 220, second to none. And we are just driving, it's about like a 35-minute drive. I'm going down the AC Expressway. And I get a call from Nolan Kane, who's our recruiting coordinator. And, like, these guys don't call you out of nowhere.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, did I do something wrong?
Right.
So I answer, obviously. And he's like, look, Max, like, I'm going to cut to the chase. We just had a portal catcher. He was going to be our guy this year. He just quit baseball.
Wow.
And the portal had closed at that point, and they weren't confident with what they had in-house.
Okay.
So they were like, look, we want you to come this year and be a major contributor. And we talked about it. I obviously, called my parents. One of my best friends, Brady Neal, did the exact same thing at LSU. Okay. He knew he was going to do it. So he was the first guy I called. I was like, yo, should I do this? Is this something that, what do you think? And he's like, do it. Talked to my parents. We were able to graduate high school early, train my butt off that fall, and I showed up on campus December 27th of 2022 to be a freshman for the 2023 season at A&M.
Wow. That's incredible. Yeah. And then what was that like? What did you learn? It was your first real taste at collegiate baseball.
Exactly. Yeah, there was no, I didn't get the fall. Yeah. I had the early spring to kind of adapt. Right off the bat, that pace of play is, the pitch clock, just as a catcher, being able to handle the guy that's on the mound is a challenge in and of itself.
Absolutely.
And then you add in base running, you add in, we got these electronic watches now, and I got 2 earplugs in. I got one for the coach. I got one for the pitches. They're walkie-talking into me. Now you got these long schedules, these long days, and this is where IMG kind of came in, where I had already understood what it looks like to have a full schedule, what it looks like to add on to a full schedule to, like I said, catch up to the guys that are in front of me, and just worked really hard at it, was super diligent, super detailed, and I ended up winning the starting job that year.
Yeah. And then what was that like after winning the starting job? Just
I mean, it was like, no. Felt like it for about 10 minutes.
Okay.
And then you're just kind of fed to the lions.
Yeah.
And you're all of a sudden you think, okay, I kind of got this figured out. Then 10,000 people enter the stands.
Right.
And you're on TV, and your batting average is on the board. And, you're doing scouting reports, and all these different things are kind of compiling onto each other. And, I really, really struggled to start out. It was like 1 for my first 20 in my college career.
Got you.
Brutal.
Yeah.
And just kind of being able to push through that and learn, what it's like to really fail for the first time. And just kept pushing and kept working, and they sat me down for a little bit, then got right back in there and started to perform, and I feel like I was really able to be a consistent, reliable player on that team, which was a really, really solid team.
Yeah, I want to pinpoint that right there, because obviously everybody goes through setbacks, but it's about how you respond to that really shapes who you are.
Yeah.
So you have a tough beginning to your, obviously, starting career at A&M.
Yeah.
You said that you just started working as hard as you could, but on the mental side, did it take a toll at all, and was there any question of self-doubt?
At A&M, we worked with a guy named Brian Kane. He was like our mental performance coach.
Okay.
And, there were a lot of different things that he would throw at us to kind of the whole idea of him and his philosophy was we're playing baseball pitch to pitch, right? Each pitch is an expiration date, and there's no such thing as taking one result and applying it to another thing, right? No matter success, no matter failure, it's pitch by pitch.
Right.
And separating things, and if you can allow yourself to do that, what you're doing is slowing the game down. You slow the game down, you notice more things, and it just comes a lot easier to you.
Yeah.
So, on the mental side of things, looking back on it, I felt like I was trying to do everything. Like I was, on this crazy routine. I was doing the journaling, I was doing the deep breaths, I was doing the visualizing, I was all these different things, and it kind of crippled me. And
in what way?
So when I've seen people talk about this before, but really when your entire life is based on 4 at-bats.
Right.
And
how and the outcome of those at-bats.
And the outcome of those at-bats in a sport like baseball, where your results are super subjective to so many different things.
Right.
The umpire, the opposition, sometimes the lighting.
And climate.
The climate, all these different things. And when you tie who you are into this, it cripples you. So
right.
I was really able to detach and kind of surrender my results to my work ethic and how I prepared. So I knew I'm doing everything I need to do on this end, and I'm going to approach the game how I do it. I'm going to play hard, and I'm gonna let the results take care of itself. And that's all I can do, and that's who I can be, and so be it if bad stuff happens.
Control the controllables.
Exactly.
That's what everybody says.
Exactly.
And it's such a big step to take mentally, obviously, because you're directly impacted by the results of the outcome. But to not get caught up with that doesn't seem like the right thing, but in reality it is. And just to love the process and appreciate that.
Yeah, I mean, it's extremely crippling in a sport like baseball because at the end of the day, the past does not equal the future.
Yeah.
And like I said, good or positive or good or negative, you can't ride highs, you can't ride lows. Yeah. And when you're looking at your statistics and you're getting caught up in your K to walk ratio and your chase rate and all these different things that are out there, what you're not focused on is how you're going to succeed the next opportunity you get.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. No, it's great. It's great perspective. I'm really happy that we're touching on this. There's a lot I want to get into. Obviously, you've had a pretty storied collegiate career. Only 20 years old. You're on to your third school now, Wichita State.
Yeah.
Spent 2 years at A&M, and then you go on to South Carolina.
Yeah.
Take me through that decision quickly and just kind of what South Carolina was like.
So my sophomore year was like a wild ride at A&M. I was the starter my whole freshman year, and then they bring in a fifth-year senior. Initially, the idea from the coaches was we were going to platoon. I started off playing well. He started off playing well. We went back and forth for a little bit, and then he just caught fire.
Okay.
And, I got a lot of limited playing time that year and kind of had to make best of the opportunities that I got.
Yeah.
And, that was a huge learning point in my career as well. And then after that season, we ended up making it to the national championship game, learned so much from the older guys. And at the end of the season, our head coach leaves and goes to Texas.
Yeah.
And at this point, I was really looking forward to coming back to A&M for a third year and being the starter again and just going right back on that train. And obviously he leaves, and now there's so much uncertainty. I didn't play a whole lot. We don't know who the coach is going to be, et cetera. So you kind of have to initially enter the transfer portal, period.
Yeah.
So I entered the transfer portal that summer, and, two of my top schools, probably my top school besides South Carolina, was A&M. So I was really considering going back to A&M, but the timing of things didn't work out, and I felt like a clean slate was important for me.
Right.
I believed in the coaching staff. They said a lot of good things to me.
Yeah.
And, I didn't perform great at the end of the day at South Carolina, and I felt like I deserved more opportunities. But at the end of the day, I didn't make the most of the ones that I got.
Right.
So that was kind of like the story of my year at Carolina.
Okay.
And it was unfortunate, but had to enter the portal again. But again, like, this kind of goes back to just like the experiences that you get. I've lived in like how many states now. I've been around so many different people, and I'm ridiculously lucky to have been in these scenarios.
Yeah.
And I'm in a position now where I can be a leader on an American Conference team, a storied program with a really good coaching staff, and I couldn't be more fired up.
Absolutely. It's going to be a really fun year.
Yeah.
Let's take a quick second to touch on the transfer portal. Obviously, the state of collegiate athletics, especially in baseball, is wild right now. Even just through what you just told me. They had a catcher and a spot opened up, so you're allowed to go to A&M, and then you're competing with the guy your second year, and then you're in the portal, and then you spend 1 year at Carolina. It doesn't go the way you want it to, due to playing time, whatever it may be, and you have to enter the portal again. I guess my question is, how are you seeing this state of the transfer portal and NCAA be affected by this just massive migration to different schools?
I think the popular answer is, these got no loyalty, and, I think it's terrible, and, there's no, you can't build a program anymore and all this stuff. And, my personal belief is I think it's awesome.
Yeah.
Trust me, I don't want to transfer twice, right?
Yeah.
I don't want to go to 3 schools in 4 years.
Right.
It's not something I'm interested in doing. But at the end of the day, like, this is a business.
Yep.
Right? These coaches this is their livelihood.
It is.
Like my hitting coach at A&M, Mike Early, he's got 3 kids. They're under 13 years old. Yeah. Like, they got to eat.
Exactly.
Right? He needs to make money. He can't get fired.
He's got to win.
He's got to win. All these SEC coaches, all these ACC coaches, they're on whether they like it or not, they're on 1-year contracts.
Yeah.
There's very few guys from top to bottom in college baseball nowadays that have multiple years of leash.
Long-term security.
Right?
Yeah.
Especially players.
Yeah.
If you're a player and you have a bad year, you're done.
Right.
You can completely bet on yourself by staying, but this coaching staff is going to have this kind of imprinted opinion about you.
Right.
And again, they need a win, so they need to go get a security blanket for you.
Yeah.
Right? So they can't ride with you, because if they ride with you, they might lose their job the following year.
Absolutely.
Which it's tough, but it's great at the same time. It forces it's pressure. It forces winning. It forces you to just strap it up every single day and go be a competitor.
It adds a level of urgency as well.
It adds a level of urgency, and so many times, you know, it's just you can't have this why me mindset. So many people, I've been in the locker room with so many guys, coach, like, why me? Why me? This sucks. That sucks. But at the end of the day, like, baseball, whether you like it or not, is a stepping stone in your life.
Right.
And if you can't just strap it up every single day and just get over the fact that it's hard, and then you're screwed.
Yeah.
When you go on to whatever's next,
Exactly.
right? Whether it's professional baseball or some sort of job,
Yeah.
like, you're right. It's about urgency. Like, you think your boss is gonna like it if, like, it's they turn back at year one and you're like, what have you produced for me?
Yeah.
That it's just a matter of fact.
Mm-hmm.
So I love it. And on top of that, it gives players real leverage. So I just kind of talked about the part where, you don't play great or you don't perform great on either end, whether it be coach or player. But now let's shift to the guys who do really, really perform and really, really show stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like in my 2 years at A&M, I think I showed that I could be a really good player.
Right.
And so when I entered the transfer portal, I had a really good amount of interest.
Right.
And I had real leverage from school to school.
Yeah.
And I could really take a step back and determine what I wanted to do. And I didn't have to, like, listen to people. I could make a true decision for myself. And there's other guys who performed even better than me.
Yeah.
And, now they can say, well, I want real money, which is awesome.
And
they should get paid.
Absolutely.
Tell me Texas A&M should sit there in a $60 million stadium and, the kid playing shortstop is on a 65% scholarship? It's garbage.
The TV deals are bringing in however many $1 million to however many million viewers. It's so weird because, like, so many people are so quick to jump to the negative side of the transfer portal and the new state of college athletics, where they think that, like, the top 1% and 2% are really the only guys benefiting from it.
Yeah.
But as you said, it promotes, like, independency.
Well, I'll tell you, when you want to talk about the top 1% and 2% of guys benefiting from it, when you put this bureaucracy in it and you regulate it like crazy, that's when now all of a sudden the money starts to deplete, and then the 1% and 2% are really the only guys benefiting.
Right.
When you kind of let it flow, that's when you start to see, your role players really benefiting.
Absolutely.
Rather than your stars.
Absolutely. I mean, that's perfectly said. I think it's a great way to wrap up the bow on the transfer portal. It's obvious talking to you, obviously, on here, knowing you a little bit this summer, that, like, you said you got to be the CEO of your own career. It seems like you developed that at a really young age, though, that mentality, that understanding. Do you think that you came to understand that more over the years, seeing that from the older guys, or is that something that was always inside of you?
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely inside of me, and there was definitely, like, a hunger to just keep getting better and keep moving and competing. But, like, of course, there's been guys in my career, like at Texas A&M. There's a guy named Trevor Warner, who I really looked up to, who, like, wasn't necessarily a vocal leader, but every single day when I walked in the locker room, it was just me and him for some reason.
Yeah.
Every single day when I walked into the gym, it was just me and him. And then every single day when I walked into the cage, it was just me and him.
Yeah.
And I was like, this guy's an animal. Like,
Yeah.
he's not letting what it says on the scoreboard or what fans are saying about him or what the other guys in the locker room are saying about him dictate anything.
Mm-hmm.
Because when it's all said and done, it's him in the mirror.
Yeah.
And it's me in the mirror.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And that's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Absolutely. So across your college journey, obviously going into your fourth year playing, what is the biggest main area of growth that you think you've really come into?
I'd say what I kind of just touched on, being the whole, like, nobody cares.
Yeah.
And it's about production, and there's no such thing as why me. And it's so you can pick out a billion reasons why it didn't happen for you, but at the end of the day, it's still the same result.
Mm-hmm.
The result is it didn't happen.
Yeah.
Right? So you can either get caught up on all these, why me, I'm sad, help me, or you can move on and pivot and figure out how you're going to get a better result in the future.
Absolutely. All right, let's take a little switch over to summer ball. I want to talk about it. Obviously, you're with the Vineyard 2 years ago. Then you go to the Cape. You're with the Brewster Whitecaps for the entire summer. Now you're back on the island. Obviously, you've been in some programs that get you ready for the next step in your career, preparation-wise, all the above.
Yeah.
But what does summer baseball bring that none of those others really can touch on?
Yeah, I mean, summer baseball is the best. Like, it is just pure baseball.
Yeah.
And, I mean, my first year on the Vineyard, obviously, it was like a really challenging year, my freshman year at A&M. I really needed to learn on a higher level to slow the game down, play every single day, and truly put a game together.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Have a good at-bat, carry that into your next at-bat.
Yeah.
Make a good play on defense, and continue that. Really learn more nuances of the game that my coaches have been preaching that I would hear them say, but I didn't necessarily understand it because I hadn't seen it play out.
Right.
And these are all things that kind of came to fruition my first year here
Okay.
with the Sharks. It was great. It was great. And then, my second year went to Brewster, and now the mindset kind of switched from developmental to let's ball.
Showcase, right?
And let me show these guys what I can do.
Right.
And, I mean, I played awesome defense in Brewster. Hitting was tough, but, I kind of pushed through, and I had an awesome summer with the Whitecaps. We came up short as a team, and it was also a lot different for me because of when I got there. We played in the College World Series that year, so I showed up probably 3 weeks late to summer ball, which sucked.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a really, really cool experience in the Cape. And like bottom line, even more so than the Vineyard, the Cape is true baseball. When they invented it, that's what they thought of. Right. It's a bunch of, it feels like no-name guys who are playing hard baseball, who are playing it the right way, who are doing, and then a bunch of people who just appreciate it around it.
Exactly.
We're not on some fancy stage with perfect manicured grass and 10,000 people in the stands.
Yeah.
We're at a backfield behind an elementary school, and some guy on his tractor mowed the lawn that morning, and you really can't see anything because the fog's rolling in, and it's 8:30.
Yeah.
And no one cares. You're just trying to win the game. And that is so, so cool. If you love baseball, you love that.
Absolutely. I mean, that's what brings everybody there is their love for baseball. You could be playing, you could be a fan, you could be a coach. It doesn't really matter. And the fact that everybody gets to chase their dream for they share a couple months together is a really special thing.
Yeah.
I mean, it definitely teaches a lot, brings a lot of life lessons into it. I want to talk about this summer, though. Obviously, it's 44 games in 57 days. You played a lot of tedious schedules before, but just managing this schedule, has it taught you anything different, anything new this summer at all?
A lot of people say that it's a tough schedule. I don't buy it.
Right.
Like the nature of summer ball, you got a lot of players on the team, and you get off days, and it just, to me, man, I'll call out every single player that plays a lot at college and says I don't want to go to summer ball.
Yeah.
And I'll call out every single player that comes to summer ball and is here for 6 weeks and says, I'm good. Like, if I could curse, I'd be cursing right now. I'll say that. Do you like baseball?
Right.
What is wrong with you? Like, I'd play 3 games a day if I could. I mean, all I want to do is be on that field, get at bats, be behind the plate, learn, watch, experience. If you think 47, what is it?
44 in 57 days.
Oh, come on. 44 in, 57 days?
57
We should play like 55, 56 games.
I mean, the Northwoods League, they play, 70 games and 72 games, 77 days or something like
good
that?
for them. Good for them. Because, like, the last thing I want to hear is, like, it goes back to the why me stuff.
Yeah.
Like, oh, coach, like, my arm hurts. Shut up. What are you here for?
Right.
You here to play, or
Exactly.
you're here to go to the bars?
Yeah.
Come on, man. Sorry.
No,
You
it's
get me
good.
emotional.
Listen, I mean,
When you're talking about guys who want to like go. I don't even know what they want to do.
Yeah.
You want like what are you talking
Absolutely.
about? You want to be a big leaguer, 162 games. You want to talk about a real schedule, 162 games. Strap it up
every year,
every single
that's
day.
the regular season too.
That's the regular season.
That doesn't count spring
Right?
training. That doesn't count the playoffs.
Yeah. And, you want to be a big leaguer, and you tell me you play 40 games play in 40 games your freshman year.
Yeah.
It's like, maybe like I'm just thinking of like the average kid in this league.
Yeah.
You play 30 games. You come to summer ball, you play another 25. Coach, like, my hamstrings are kind of sore. I think I'm going to take an off day.
Mm-hmm.
Jeez, man.
All right.
You suck.
Listen, I mean, the passion is clear. This guy lives, eats, sleeps baseball. Your drive is obviously on display right now. My question is, like, do you think that this really derives from you wanting to be a big leaguer, you loving the process, or is it just the game of baseball you have the appreciation for?
I think obviously it's both.
Right.
Like I want to be a big leaguer. That's what I strive to do. But like,
if you had to attribute it to one or the other, though.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's just I love playing baseball. Like, last night we're out there, and I get to call pitches, and I get to really move through the game at the pace that I want to.
Mm-hmm.
I get to do the scouting reports.
Yep.
I get to look in my notebook in the dugout. I get to think what the third base coach is thinking.
Yeah.
Okay, is he telling this guy to steal? Is the guy on first thinking about stealing?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what would I be thinking if I was on second right now?
Yeah.
Okay, now I have to parlay that into being the physical act of catching.
Yep.
Right? Like that mental tango, however you want to call it, is the best thing on the planet, in the world, period.
And so much of baseball, 90%, as Yogi Berra obviously said, is the mental side in the game of baseball. I mean, you already touched on, a lot of the guys on the podcast have already talked about their mental coaches they have at these schools. And that's not something you really see amongst other sports.
Yeah.
As a catcher, you get to be a coach on the field. It seems like obviously you love that position so much. You take that pressure as a privilege. My question is, what have you like really learned to like dealing with the pitchers on the bump when they're going through a tough time? I mean, you're the guy that runs out there first and tries to calm them down.
Yeah.
How's that taught you about performing in real time?
I think, obviously the stock answer is, yeah, you got to know your guys. You got to know when to pat them on the butt and when to, get on their ass.
Right.
And, like, sure, that's sure. But I think reaffirming what they do is bigger than anything.
Mm-hmm.
And showing these guys that they can be themselves and succeed. Right? That they don't have to rise above who they are. They don't have to become some superhero.
Yeah.
They can literally just be who they are in their skin in that moment and find success now. And kind of getting that across to guys in a I'm your peer, I'm your friend type of way, not I'm above you somehow. Right? Because you're in a vulnerable spot.
Exactly.
Being a pitcher, you're in the center of the field, you have the ball in your hand.
Spotlight's on you.
The spotlight's on you. You're in an extremely powerful but vulnerable position.
Absolutely.
And as the catcher, my kind of goal sometimes is just to, like, let them know, like, like, you and me right here, What, like I said, you got it. There's nothing else you got to do. Be yourself, and we'll get off this field right now.
Absolutely. I mean, it seems relative. Like every guy has a different approach, right? There's going to be some.
But I think
coaches
that's
that come
like,
out.
I really think, sure, every guy you got to tweak here and there, but that I really believe is the best.
Yeah.
Like I that's my approach 99% of the time.
Positive, reaffirming feedback. I mean, it's the only way these guys are going to get confidence, and that it's so much of pitching.
Yeah. Like, real quick though, imagine you're in the broadcast booth, and I come up to you, and like you stumbled over your words or said somebody's name wrong, and I came up to you and like screamed at you.
Right.
What the hell?
I wouldn't be thinking about calling the game. I'd be thinking about
I'd be like,
how bad I feel
what is wrong with you, man? Get off me.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm trying.
Exactly.
Right? And it's the exact same way on the mound.
Right.
Right? If I was like, yo, like, come on.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get back to it. Like, lock in. That guy's name's Jack, not Jake.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, you're like, okay, yeah, you're right. That was stupid.
Absolutely.
And you can move on. I mean, that's all it is.
Yeah. All right. Well, I mean, that's a great way. I guess I want to get into some individual moments. We're in the middle of a very busy summer schedule. Sharks regular season coming to a close. Just our last regular season home game tonight. Playoffs start this Friday. Sharks are going to make the playoffs. We clinched last night. You've been around a lot of baseball squads, a lot of baseball teams, as we've talked about, a couple of summer squads as well. Is this group special at all? And if so, in what way?
Yeah, I mean, this group's great. Like, a lot of, I mean, the nature of summer ball. We've had so many different guys that aren't here right now.
Yep.
But it definitely, those guys are awesome.
Mm-hmm.
That have left for one reason or another. But we have the guys who have stuck around, the guys who have been here since the beginning, the guys who have kind of popped up in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, great group of guys. They obviously love baseball if they're here right now playing summer ball. So, you know, hats off to them, and we're gonna keep rolling.
I mean, it's a special group because you got guys from 2 years ago, you and Gio, and then a lot of returners from last year, Liebrook. I mean, the list goes on, Braden Martin. And then there's also so much new talent that's both old and young. Mm-hmm. It's a culmination that I feel like you don't really get to see. And, I mean, Sharks are putting together, obviously. What's your favorite out of all the pitchers on the team? Not to hurt anybody's feelings. Which guy competes the best? Which one do you like throwing to the most?
Ooh.
We got some fiery competitors.
Competes the best, and which one do I like catching the best?
Yep.
Those are the two.
2 questions. 2-parter.
I would say Chase Kick is your best competitor.
Yep, that's clear.
I mean, he holds himself to an extremely high standard. He wants the ball.
Yeah.
He wants to straight up go out there and win the game for his team, which is sick to be back there for.
Yep.
And just, you know what, just because of that, not just because of that, but catching him's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Because it's like you can really mess around. Like we'll be sitting there and I'll call 6 sliders in a row.
Yeah.
And I'll just throw them. You know, I feel like Chase keeps the main thing, and the main thing is getting outs, getting off the field, and it's not, oh, I just got barreled.
Yeah.
And, you know, well, it was an out. You know, it was right to the center fielder. Right, so I love catching Chase.
And it speaks volumes because he's probably not the most talented arm on our squad. His stuff is good, but it's not going to blow you out of the water.
Yeah.
But every time he competes, every time he's on the mound, you know what you're going to get from him. Yeah. And he's gone very late into some ball games. I mean, he's gone 7 innings. Like, out of all the guys in the NECBL, he's second in ERA at 2.25, and he's pitched over 30 innings, been a regular in this Sharks pitching staff. It speaks volumes about what the mental battle really takes.
It goes back to what I was saying as far as you can be yourself and succeed.
Yeah.
Chase, I don't know what his time was like at Clemson. I know he didn't pitch a lot.
Yep, only 2 appearances, I think.
Yeah, and like I don't know what he was like at the very beginning. I didn't catch his first outing, but I think at the end of the day, if you ask Chase, he's just being himself.
Yeah,
like he doesn't throw 99. He's got really good stuff, but he knows that if I just go and do my thing and fill up the strike zone and get ahead of guys, I can do whatever I want to do.
Exactly. And, like, you see him get frustrated when he allows a hit, but it's out the one ear and out the other. Like, it's that quick, and he's on to the next pitch.
That's a really good point.
All right, so my one last question about catching. Out of all the pitchers, you've obviously caught a lot of successful guys, a lot of talented guys. From the most successful ones, what's been the most common factor amongst them?
Most successful pitchers. All right. Well,
not like the guys, but the traits that they share that makes them successful.
I'm just thinking, you got, Will Johnson. I caught at A&M. He was a dude. Evan Oschenbeck, Chris Cortez. Not a whole lot of successful guys at South Carolina.
we'll see about at Wichita State, but especially in the Cape. I mean,
In the
Brewster.
Cape, yeah, we had
so
Jay Clemente.
loaded arms.
We had Jay Clemente and Patrick Forbes were like our two guys there.
Yeah.
And just to kind of like think about all those guys, I don't know, like I would say they're, I mean, I've never really grouped those guys together and thought about what makes them unique. But if you had to think about each one of those guys, like they're relentless competitors.
Yeah.
And they all kind of tap into it in their own way. But I don't know. I'm gonna highlight Will Johnson.
All right,
that guy is an absolute animal. I mean, whoever's listening you might not know who he is or whatever. He's in AAA for the A's right now.
Okay.
That guy is an animal. Like that guy, talk about keeping the main thing the main thing. I think he embodies what it means to be a dominant dude.
Right.
So I don't know. I don't even know if that answers your question.
But what's the credit to his?
You got me thinking about Will Johnson. And you fired me up.
But so obviously Will Johnson, he's in AAA. He's not. His stuff is going to be off the charts. But what separated him? What really pushes him to that next step because of his mentality?
Yeah, I mean he's just a animal. Like he shows up. Yeah. All right. Here you go. Here's your answer. So he's a starter.
Okay.
He pitches 1 day a week.
Mm-hmm.
The start day is equal to every single other day. You pitch on Friday night. Saturday is just important as Friday night. So is Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and so on.
Yeah.
He shoves on Friday night. Saturday isn't sit in the dugout, chew seeds, and
joke with the guys.
Chill with the
boys.
guys.
Yeah.
Exactly. Saturday is I'm getting, first of all, you come off the mound, recovery, elite night's sleep, elite meal, wake up in the morning, elite breakfast, weight room, throw, whatever his routine may be. That's Saturday. Sunday's the same thing. Monday's the same thing. Getting dialed into that next start.
Yeah.
And each day is tackled with the same mentality.
Right.
And that's something I learned from Will, and so cool to see.
Yeah.
And that guy's going to be a big leaguer soon.
And it's like all the most successful guys, it's all about the approach when they're not playing, right?
Exactly.
That's the extra mile.
Exactly.
And so, I think that's a great way to put it.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't have too much more. I don't want to keep you too long. We're coming up on when batting practice is supposed to start. So I'll get you over the field. We really do appreciate Max Kaufer. He just comes off a win last night, hit a 105-mile-per-hour missile over the foul pole, stole 2 bags.
Yeah, I'm like the fastest guy there is.
And now he's coming in and sacrificing his time to come on the MV Sharks podcast. Last question I'm going to ask you. If you had to pick one baseball moment, it can be the funniest, it could be the weirdest, to highlight from your journey. Just give us a little sneak peek into a funny story. Max, just for some quick background, is probably highly regarded as the story guy on the team. If you ask our head coach, Skip Peyton Fuller, absolutely, he's the guy to go to. So not to raise the expectations.
Yeah. Kind of obviously put me on the spot.
I mean, listen,
It's fine. It's fine.
It's a podcast for a reason.
Yeah. I'm thinking.
Keep thinking.
Keep thinking. Yeah. I would say, okay. My favorite game that I've ever played in was the semifinals of the SEC tournament my freshman year. This is kind of when things took. This is when like it got really drilled into my mind that baseball is about getting 27 outs and being ahead on the scoreboard.
Yeah. And
I just remember playing this game, and it was just a grind of a game. We're playing the soon-to-be national champions. You know, they got all these guys. They got Dylan Cruz, Paul Skeens, you name it. And I'm on first base, and Hunter Haas hits a 3-run homer to go ahead. And, you know, we end up winning the game, and like this crazy pitcher-hitter duel between Dylan Cruz and Evan Aschenbeck, and I'm back there for it. And he's fouling balls off, and then Evan Aschenbeck rears back 93 by him, and that's the game. We get on the bus, we're singing Nickelback, and that's when I kind of just was like, this game is all about 27 outs, and winning that type of game with that group of guys was like just the coolest thing for like a 17-year-old kid. And I don't know. That's probably not like the best thing ever.
I mean, it's very unique.
Yeah, I don't know. Just the feeling I got from that kind of eclipses anything that I felt in baseball thus far.
Absolutely. It's perfectly said.
I'll
And
give you
obviously, jersey number being 27, I don't know if that has any coincidence.
Yeah. I don't know.
This summer,
I'm always number 14. Pete Rose. It was taken.
Ryder Dykstra.
It was taken by Ryder Dykstra when I showed up. Showed up a little bit too late, I guess. But I'm always 14. And even when I'm wearing a different number, I'm number 14. Because Pete Rose is – no one played harder than him. No one loved baseball more than him. And
nobody bet more than him either. So
nobody gambled more than him.
On himself?
On himself, you know. But, yeah, that guy's the man. And you want to talk about, like, what I try and put into my baseball game. I don't try and be anybody else. I don't try and be any catcher in the big leagues or anything. Yeah. But I try and play like Pete Rose. That's it.
Okay.
So,
I mean, you did a pretty good job on the base pass last night. 2 stolen bags to raise his collegiate total to 14?
No, 11, I think. But we'll go with like 35.
Something like that. Real deal speed. 40-40 incoming. I just got 2 last things. I'm not going to try to make it last too long. I just want to go off on a good note. Obviously, you're a very polarizing figure. Your love for the game comes through very clearly. Talk about your relationship with baseball and what it's paid back for you. You have dedicated so much to this craft for so many years, and just talk about it. Speak on it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to be in this game for my whole life.
Mm-hmm.
In one way or another, I know it's going to happen. I'm never leaving this game. And, you know, baseball is you do all this training, and you try and put yourself in the best position you can for the game to achieve the result that you're looking for in that moment.
Yeah.
And it's so easy for that. It's taught me the number one lesson I've learned from baseball is you can do everything right and fail. And if you're not ready, and just because you prepare like no other, it doesn't mean you're entitled or you deserve anything.
Right.
You know, I used to think when I was younger, I did all this stuff. I worked as hard as I did. I, did all these things the right way. I deserve success.
Yeah.
Right? I'm entitled to success.
Yeah.
Baseball has taught me the number one lesson I've learned from baseball is that you're not entitled, I'll curse, to shit.
Right.
You are not entitled to anything. It's about strapping it up and going out there and doing it, right? Nothing else matters.
Yeah.
Just doing it.
Absolutely. I mean, it's very well said. I didn't even get to touch on the fact that you're working a morning job this summer, which I tried. I was doing for the first half of the summer. I was waking up at 5:30 a.m. to rig bunkers at a golf course, and you're doing heavy labor early in the mornings. How do you manage? How do you keep that energy? I mean, I see you bring, obviously, sleeping masks on the bus. You lay down in the aisles, and you definitely take care of your body. But just how do you balance chasing your baseball dream, being so ingrained in this, and then also a side hustle?
Well, I try and detach from the game as much as I can.
Yeah,
like baseball being who you are versus what you do. It can't be who you are, right? So who I am in the morning, I'm a landscaper.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I sell umbrellas for my dad sometimes. I'm a brother. I'm a son. I'm a friend. I'm not a baseball player.
Yeah.
I'm about to go to the field. I'm going to be the best baseball player and the most committed I can be to the game for the time I'm at the field.
Yeah.
When I leave the field, it's time to go sleep. And that's all it is. And that's kind of what landscaping in the morning has done for me. I just wake up, pick some weeds, get to smell the fresh air, and head to the baseball field.
And it's like the underlying factor is like not a lot of people will see it, but I mean obviously you're a baseball junkie. The fact that you can not sacrifice your love from the game, but the word is detach from it, and then bring it back on and bring it in the moments that you need
if you're gonna like kind of be encapsulated by the game 24 hours a day, nothing else, you're gonna burn out. There's too much failure in this game to make it who you are. Like, if I wake up in the morning and the first thing I do is like some baseball ritual, it's who I am.
Yeah.
Right? Max Kaufer is as good as his batting average.
And this is earlier on the bus this summer. You were like, I don't even want to know my batting averages. I don't want to
we're talking about stats and everything. And I'm like, whoa.
Yeah.
Because that doesn't dictate what happens in tonight's game.
Absolutely.
Right? So.
Perfect. All right. Well, the very last thing, I know I already said that.
Yeah.
At the end of every one of these podcasts, I let the guys just have a platform, talk about whatever they want to do, give any advice to any kids out there. I mean, it can be whatever you want. Obviously, you're passionate about a lot of things. I can give you a little second to think about it, but this has been probably one of our best episodes yet, and I'm incredibly excited.
Yeah, I appreciate that. And thanks a lot for having me. I guess, I don't know. The first thing that comes to mind, I'm Jewish. I'm proud to be Jewish. And, I know a lot of people, like to use their platform to talk about religion. And I fully support Israel.
Mm-hmm.
I love to be a Jewish American. I'm proud of my heritage. And I just want to say that.
Absolutely. All right.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that wraps a bow on it. Max Kaufer, Medford, New Jersey native, now with the Sharks, and on a long baseball journey. We'll see how long it goes, but your love for the game is so special to see, and I really appreciate you coming on.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thanks a lot for having me, Liam.
And a huge thank you to Martha's Vineyard Community Television for making this episode of Shark Talk possible.